In the few days since Republican governors have transported groups of migrants to Martha's Vineyard and outside of Vice President Kamala Harris's residence in Washington, D.C. The outrage, I'm sorry, I'm having a mic problem right here, folks. In the days since, 2 Republican governors have transported groups of migrants to Martha's Vineyard and outside of Vice President Kamala Harris's residence in Washington, D.C. to protest Democratic immigration policies. The outrage over the use of human beings as political props has prompted calls of investigations into whether the stunts may have broken any laws. On Monday in Texas, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar announced that his office is investigating individuals who lured 48 migrants to the Migrant Resource Center in San Antonio to be flown to Martha's Vineyard. And lots of other lawmakers are looking into whether Ron Desantis and Governor Greg Abbott have done anything wrong. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Governor Greg Abbott, have claimed credit for chartering the flights that delivered about 50 migrants on the affluent Massachusetts island, and said that the move was necessary to protect the state of Florida from the impact of Biden's border policies. But it has since been reported that flights originally originated in Texas, which is led by Governor Greg Abbott, and that the migrants, mostly Venezuelan asylum seekers who had crossed the Mexican border, hadn't spent much time in Florida except for a short layover en route to Martha's Vineyard. In a letter sent to Attorney General Merrick Garland last week, California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat, urged the DOJ to investigate whether Martha's Vineyard, the incident, was involved possible criminal or civil violations of federal law. Newsom suggested that such alleged fraudulent inducement could constitute kidnapping. He also implored the DOJ to probe whether the migrants' rights to equal protection under the law were violated, writing that based on the allegations, the recruiters targeted the individuals based on their national origin with the apparent intent to humiliate and dehumanize them. Isn't that rich? Isn't that rich coming from Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom actually launched a program when he was the San Francisco mayor that used to bus thousands of homeless people out of San Francisco to other states. This is a man who used to say, hey, look, we don't want our homeless people. You take them. And now he has the nerve. This man has the nerve to want to pretend that he's just so offended. He's just so offended by the fact that they would take illegal immigrants and send them to places they're already trying to go, which are sanctuary cities. The Democrats talk out of both sides of their mouth. On one hand, it's don't come. Don't come. That's old Kamala Harris. Don't come. Please. Just don't come. You know, don't come. Then the next minute, it's, well, these are sanctuary cities, and we're happy to protect these people from being deported, and we'll protect them from the big bad Republicans who are trying to send illegal immigrants back across the border. All these people do is basically contradict themselves. That's basically all Kamala Harris has been doing.
People who are fleeing murder capitals of the world. There are children who are fleeing murder capitals of the world, who have fled, most of them, murder capitals of the world. We have families that are fleeing murder capitals of the world. A mother who pays a coyote. Imagine a mother who makes a decision to pay a coyote. When a mother pays a coyote,
often through a caravan with a coyote even,
to transport her child through their country of origin, through the entire country of Mexico, of traveling through the entire country of Mexico, to transport her child across the entire country of Mexico.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
So you see, on one hand, oh, these people are innocent victims and we should do everything we can to help them. But then the next minute, don't come. Don't come. You know, when it was those Haitians, they couldn't wait to put them on the planes and send their behinds back to Haiti. They could not wait for that. Can we be honest here for a second, folks? Can we be honest? Can I be honest with you guys out there listening? This is all because the Democratic Party and liberals in general gambled on a certain principle called demographics is destiny. They believed that if they let enough people from Latin America, from Central and South America come here, and they made themselves the official lovers and sort of enablers of illegal immigration, that a lot of Hispanic people, particularly Hispanic people, but not all Hispanic people, but mostly Hispanic people, would be grateful to them and vote Democratic in perpetuity the same way black people do after the Civil Rights Movement. They thought that they could force them into the shotgun marriage black people have had with the Democratic Party for the last 60 years. That's what they thought. They thought if we get on the right side of illegal immigration, then here's what's going to happen. All the Hispanics will vote for us the same way blacks all vote for us. And we'll be in a position where we can protect them from the evil Republicans. And they will reward us by 80-90% of them voting for the Democratic Party. Don't tell me that that wasn't the plan, because a lot of Democrats have openly admitted that this was the plan. They will pretend and gaslight all of us that the great replacement theory is something that was made up by Tucker Carlson or some white supremacist or something. But from their own mouths, from the last 20, 30 years, from their own mouths, we have seen them talk about demographics being destiny.
It seems harder and harder to ignore that the echoes of replacement theory and other racially motivated views are increasingly coming out into the open.
In a few years, we're going to be a majority brown country. White people will not be the majority in the country anymore.
This will be the first generation ever in American history in which whites will be a minority of the generation at some point.
As of 2007, every year, babies being born in this country, whites now are the minority.
In 2044, everyone is going to be a minority.
As the demographics change, as white people become the minority in the country, which is coming.
Demographics is destiny. Demographics is destiny.
Demographics is destiny, right? The country is changing.
I've been saying it here. Other people have been saying it here for years now, even before Donald Trump. The demographics is destiny.
The white population is declining for the first time in history in America, while the number of multiracial Americans have more than doubled.
So we live in a country where the demographics are changing. It's becoming less white.
Correct.
Okay.
You'll be announcing that we're calling the 38 electoral votes of Texas for the Democratic nominee for president. It's changing. It's going to become a purple state and then a blue state because of the demographics, because of the population growth.
The growth in Texas has been almost entirely driven by non-white population growth, mostly by Hispanic and Latino population growth.
The idea that whites will not be the majority, I mean, that's it's an exciting transformation of the country. It's an exciting evolution and, you know, progress of our country in many different ways.
This is all video of Democrats from the last 20 years. I want to play one more of this woman. What is it? Judith Brown Dianis from the Advancement Project, who said that basically her goal was to make demographics destiny.
So that when we get to 2042 or 2045, whatever year you want to use, that we actually will not be suffering from what other countries like South Africa have, which is having the numbers but not having the power. We want, you know, people say demographics are not destiny. Well, we're trying to make it destiny. So that's the work that we're doing.
Amen.
That's what they.
And
that's what they're doing.
To transition to that.
That's what they're doing. That's what they did. Okay. That's what they were banking on. Demographics being destiny. Okay. And the problem is they gambled and lost. They have gambled and lost. Because Hispanics are becoming Republicans in record numbers. They are turning Republican in record numbers to the point where it's almost 50-50 in the polls. It's almost 50-50. Among Hispanic men, Republicans are winning in a lot of polls. They didn't come here to integrate into the losing team. I didn't come up with that. That was actually, once again, the Funky Academic. Irmio Se Frimpong. Look him up on YouTube at the Funky Academic. But no, nobody comes to America to integrate into the losing team. So black people be up there leading the parade. Oh, man, all these illegal immigrants. Yes, you know, we black and we got to watch out for all these people of color. They not coming here to be people of color. They are coming here to be white. Like Rafael, Ted Cruz, and Marco Rubio, and Mayra Flores. Okay? Simple as that. You gambled and lost. Even the city of Gary here, we're a welcoming city. A welcoming, what the hell does that mean? A welcoming city. Welcoming what? Welcoming who? Most black people I don't know feel welcome in the city of Gary. Seriously. Can we feel welcome in the city of Gary? Demographics is destiny is what they were banking on, and they gambled and lost. It is that simple. The Democrats may get a little bit more of a Hispanic vote than the Republicans, but it will be close. For the next few decades, would not be surprised if they went over to the right permanently. And let me just say this. I'm not mad at the Latinos. I am not mad at Latino and Hispanic people whatsoever. They are smart. They are doing politics the right way. They are not like black people. They're not like us, who let the Democrats trap us into an abusive relationship where you can mass incarcerate us, you can bomb African people, you can help Wall Street steal all of our homes and have eminent domain and take all of our homes, and yet we'll still vote for you in record numbers because the Republicans are literally Hitler. Oh my God, the Republicans are the worst. I can't vote third party. I can't stay home because the Republicans are so scared. No. The Latinos people are not playing that. They are smart. They have taken the word of Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, what have you done for me lately? That is what they are saying. What have you done for me lately? They're not about to let themselves get trapped in an abusive relationship with the Democratic Party like black people have. Oh no. And black people have, and particularly the Democrats, black Democrats, which is a large percentage of black people, because 90% of black people vote for Democrats in every election, whether they consider themselves Democrat or not. We have allowed ourselves to be used to support something that doesn't even benefit us, which is illegal mass immigration. You know how I know? Because the great leaders of the left and the black community told me so. Coretta Scott King. Do y'all know who that is? She urged Republican Senator Orrin Hatch not to repeal sanctions on employers of illegal immigrants because of the devastating impact it could have on unskilled and semi-skilled workers, particularly in the black and Hispanic communities. She signed the letter in 1991 with 8 CEOs of leading black organizations and coalitions. Is Coretta Scott King a white supremacist who just wants to keep America white? I seriously doubt it. Booker T. Washington. How many of you know who that is? Founder of Tuskegee. Pleaded with Southern business leaders to look for workers among the 8 millions of Negroes whose habits you know, rather than the incoming of those foreign-born and with strange tongues and habits. A. Philip Randolph. I talk about him a lot on this show. He's one of my personal heroes. The greatest black labor leader this country has ever had. A man who organized the 1963 March on Washington, where Martin Luther King gave the I Have a Dream speech. And he was a socialist. On top of all that, said he didn't want to just reduce immigration to 2% in the 1890 quotas. He supported reducing it to nothing. He was in favor of shutting out the Germans from Germany, the Italians from Italy, the Hindus from India, the Chinese from China, and even the Negroes from the West Indies. This country is suffering from immigrant indigestion. One of the greatest black civil rights leaders who ever lived. He said, it is time to call a halt to this grand rush for American gold, which overfloods the labor market, resulting in lowering the standard of living, race riots, and general social degradation. The excessive immigration is against the interests of the masses of all races and nationalities in the country, both foreign and native. What a white supremacist. And if you just think it was black people, oh no. Cesar Chavez, another one of my personal heroes, used to have his United Farm Workers report undocumented workers to the Immigration and Naturalization Service. He used to go down to the border with Ralph Abernathy. How many of y'all know who Ralph Abernathy is? Another one of the great civil rights leaders of the 1960s, who was one of Martin Luther King's great good friends. And Walter Mondale, our former vice president under Carter. So what's the solution to this? Who gave a good solution to this? The late, great Barbara Jordan. a senator from Texas in the 90s under Bill Clinton, made it very simple. We're going to cut illegal immigration. We're going to cut immigration, period, to 500,000 people, emphasizing family, nuclear family members of citizens, get rid of the visa lottery, and just let nuclear family members and skilled laborers in the country, everybody else got to go. Everybody else got to go. That was the answer in 1996. That's the answer now. We'll be right back here right after this on Issues and Answers.